Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader bonus video. So please excuse how I look. I've been hard at work. And excuse the squeaking floors. I am in my aunt's basement. I'm going to move slow so I don't make you dizzy. But I want to show you some of the treasures. And because many of you ask to see, kind of talk a little bit about cleaning things out and what has value and how you determine that. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and I apologize because I'm using my phone, and we're going to talk a little bit about vintage items. So one of the things that I happened to find was all of these vintage jars. So we know that anything blue is pre-1937, but there are some very old, like this Ball Vintage Special, a lot of old Atlas jars. So how do you determine what to charge? Well, in an estate sale, usually over multiple days, the prices will decrease. So full price first day, and that's the people that want a specific thing that they've seen in the ad. The second day, 25% off, and the third day is usually half price. So anything that we don't want to sell less than what it's priced for, you just write firm on it. Now, I went through, and a lot of these have been boxed or bagged. I went through all of the jars. So we have some common, y'all have seen these, mason jars. These are just everyday current ones as compared to these vintage Kerr, the Mason Star, the Atlas, they don't make these anymore. A lot of vintage Kerr, lots of vintage Kerr. So that was one of the things that took a long time. The other thing that I found are some of these Beastal vintage bells. These things sell like crazy for big money. A mid-century modern Everywhere set, has all kinds of, cream and sugar and all of the things. Some vintage restaurant ware. Back there is a Hull planter. These are just standard like ball half gallons. But what had to be sorted was all the pickle jars. What is this? I don't know. Blackburn's refrigerated after opening. Something secret recipe. But people do enjoy having these larger jars back here for storage, etc. So we've kind of got them delineated out. My cousin's put in a lot over here. Down at the bottom is a lot of the, like household repair things that we'll probably sell with the house. Now you might notice this lovely vintage. This house is 59 years old. This is the vintage asbestos tile, but they had to do some work. And so this has been put all around the edge. Some of the fun things that you find are things like this. How long has it been since you've seen Listerine in a glass bottle? But it is a tremendous, tremendous amount of work. Lots of vintage books and vintage toys. This is just kitchenware. Most of this has been priced. So this was another really cool find, y'all. I think that originally they thought it wasn't worth anything. So I'm going to show you some of the detail. So this is actually a 1920s vintage steel bed. It is a double bed or a full with some vintage sheets. The quilt isn't going to go with. It's a pretty quilt. Some vintage kids records, and this beauty over here, which we have searched and searched. We took it apart. We've looked everywhere to try to find who made it, but it is true mid-century modern. It's a high boy is what they call it. So that was a very cool find. All of these cabinets were full, y'all, all of them. And so I emptied out all of these and that. And you just keep sorting, like, are these cleaning rags? We're going to donate. They're going to donate. a bunch to like the shelter for pets. Lots of cleaning products that can be bundled and resold. Some really cool things like this Hoover Sweep Aid that's like a not electric, and it works. I tried it. It's $25. It's probably 70s just because of the gold. We had one, but it wasn't this good of quality, and every time you'd sweep up a bunch and you think you were almost finished, it would throw up the whole lot if it got over full. So drop me a comment, have you ever swept with one of these? Some really vintage ironing boards here. This one has some rust, but this, by the color, this one has rust too. I would say 1950s because it's kind of that teal green. Vintage hamper, that's really cool to see. So yeah, and then just, you know, regular household stuff. We still have a lot to do, y'all. But let's go upstairs and look at some of the goodies up there. There's something in the garage I want to show you. I think one of the most challenging things as you go through everything a person has owned, it's pretty amazing. There's some beautiful vintage bedwear. Look at that, y'all. Isn't that pretty? Very, very unique. You know, and just sheets and mattress pads, coverlets, quilts, brand new duvet. All of this you have to separate out, make it attractive, price it. I wanted to show y'all, I found all of these. Oh, here's another needle thing I need to price. All of these vintage patterns, some of them, I mean, you can tell this is only 85 cents. Trying to see if this has a price. I don't see a price on this one. Oh, $1.25. You know, probably 70s. But little kids, only 50 cents. I mean, patterns are like $12. One without a envelope. Look at that, sweet 50 cents. Little girl dresses. I mean, it's just amazing, the items that I have found just by doing a little bit of digging. And my aunt had several of these really neat needle books. And you look these up, they actually have quite a bit of value. Y'all don't judge my dirty hands and my bare feet. These are quite collectible. I actually, whoops, just flung a needle. I actually have one for my mother as well. But, you know, jewelry, vintage fabrics. Look at these vintage fabrics. And if any of you all are seamstress, they're tailoring aids. So there's a ham, a collar pointer, and what they call a whacker that you use to make creases or pleats and things. This is a whole box of vintage fabrics and sewing notions. Lots of vintage notions. Just amazing. Old button boxes. Some of these are not old, but still really neat. You know, old fabric, threads and all kinds of things. Rolls of moire. Moire was really popular in the early 80s, and it was used for draperies, but there are yards and yards of these beautiful and well-kept fabrics. The things that are more difficult, I would say, are the tchotchkes, but you have to look them up because this is a mother-of-pearl rotating base globe with 4 clocks. And, you know, then you have the ball caps and some of the copperware and a hat box. Lots of vintage cards. And that is always a big seller. So yeah, I still have a lot to go, but I want to take you out and show you an amazing 1956 Philco refrigerator. Before we go look at the refrigerator, I wanted to show you my beautiful Aunt Susie. This is like a canvasy material, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's such a likeness of her. I'm sure it's a photo, but it's been retouched, we'll say. So here's the gem that will be a big attractor to the estate sale. It is minty, guys, in fabulous, fabulous condition. Still works. Let me go ahead. There are 3 styles of handles. So there's this, which is a pull-down handle. There's one that's more like a car door, like lifty handle. And then the most desirable is the V handle. But let me show y'all. Fully works, nice and cold. It is a Philco G923. Look at this. Look at the condition, y'all. Look at it. Like, I am amazed. The quick chiller, the crisper, everything has been so well maintained. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, I mean, look at even the numbers are still good on it. So this has been well repainted. My uncle repainted it, but it is an authentic color and just really a treasure. You know, who saves a 70-year-old refrigerator? I would. So I wanted to show you at the estate sale, my aunt's house. Beautiful, beautiful, big, mature trees. This place has been impeccably taken care of. I mean, it's just amazing. And you come around here, the driveway will hold 2 cars. The garage, I think no, it's a double. There's a lot of things in here. Little brick pathway, little cement. And then, please don't laugh at the stuff out here, but a really nice backyard. Chain link fence all the way around. These are just some things that they're gonna add to the sale. A couple nice trees, a little storage barn. So yeah, we're having kind of a cool and windy fallish morning here. So more mid-century modern. This has been modified, but that just makes it nice and sturdy. This is an enamel coated table, some insulators, and then there is some beautiful Statesville, I believe, walnut mid-century furniture, double chairs, 2 of those, a beautiful table. I'm not filming faces. So, and then there are 2 chairs that go with. So my job this morning is to sort the Christmas and some other pieces, some Samsonite luggage. I'm assuming these teddy bears won't be part of the sale. I have my teddy wed, is what I called it from when I was a kid. Really lovely bedroom set with a quilt rack, the mirror, and I'm sorry to bobble around, guys. Let me just show you a couple other rooms too, so you can see how we're setting up. I think it's really going to. So this is the room that I did yesterday. It is the master bedroom. And so I was able to price everything and put it in such a way that people can get to it. It's clearly labeled, things that have value. We're using the bright red tags. Then here in the restroom, we found a vintage Estee Lauder tray that's really neat. And this is also a vintage makeup tray if you see the pearlescent marbled look. Even cleaning supplies, guys, sell at estate sales if you're dealing with that. And an uber cool mid-century modern hamper. So moving to the 3rd bedroom, this is the smallest bedroom. They are trying not to put a ton of furniture in, but there's TV, some more modern pieces. This house is really neat though, because it has this huge storage closet. So hanging place, lots of floor room. So if you're interested in, and the attic, if you're interested in a house, I will be listing the address if you're local, and it is for sale by owner, so that you know that. Let me take you quickly just here into the living room. It's done so nicely. Very neutral carpet, gray walls, and then yellow and gray curtains. And all this furniture, of course, is for sale. We still have to price all the crystal. We have tons of housewares, just a little bit of everything. Everything from mid-century modern to, you know, something typical, a KitchenAid mixer, pretty art on the wall, swinging around. This is, and I'm trying not to get anybody's face in, this is the mint dinette set that is to die for, guys. The chrome is impeccable. There's no rips or tears in the vinyl. There's no chips in the Formica. So this will be one of the hot sale items. Tons and tons of Corningware, some vintage cheese tray, lots of vintage like freezer containers. You all seen my vintage candy containers. So mixed in with things that are very useful are a lot of vintage things like this lovely high chair. Is that so cool? Both of my cousins sat in that. I probably did too. One of the things I've been tasked with doing is pricing, and excuse the background noise. So if you've never tried Google Lens, it is super helpful in identifying what you have if there's no tags or markings. So I'm into the crystal. I've done the Christmas room. I hope you've all enjoyed that little look into my aunt's estate sale. Just a couple pointers. Very commonly, if you're going to do an estate sale, it's held over 3 days. Day 1, things are full price. Day 2, things are 25% off. Day 3, things are half price. That's very common. Anything that has a high value that you do not want to sell at a discounted rate, you should mark firm, and you should have a notice that says firm items are not subject to discount or something like that. So I did all the holiday items. I did a bunch of crystal and decorative pieces. I had started on the kitchen. Tomorrow's our last day. So if you are local and you would like to go to the sale, I will pin in the comments a little bit of information. This sale will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Hang on, I gotta look at the date. 16th, 17th, and 18th. 9 to 5 on Thursday and Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. The address is 352 Grand Vista Drive, and that is in Beavercreek, Ohio. I would love to see you there. If you are a subscriber and you're local and you show up, be sure and introduce yourself. I will be there. Not the whole day on Saturday. I won't be there real early in the morning, but I'll be there from like 11 on the discount day. So I'm going again tomorrow, and we got to get it finished up. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of cousins stopping by. So it's been kind of like a little family reunion, but it's also a lot of work. It's a little easier for me because I'm not emotionally attached. So I'm able to do the work. They can decide what has sentimental value or what's private or they don't want to sell, or they want to keep for themselves, and then just I better watch what I say. Ship everything over to me, and then I can set up the rooms and such. So I've really enjoyed myself. I've learned a lot about vintage items that I didn't know. But all of my antique store shopping has helped me somewhat. So I will see you all for my regular video on Thursday. I want to apologize, guys. This is Tuesday. I'm getting ready to go upload the video. I've been editing all day, you know, in between pricing. I have not gotten to any of the Tuesday comments, so, and there's a pile of them. So please know I wasn't ignoring you. I've just been busy today, so I will get to that in a little bit. So I will see you all tomorrow. But until then, please do me a favor, smash that like button, leave me a comment below any other estate sale tips that you can share with others, because I think there's a lot of us in that boat. Alrighty, I will see you soon. And in the meantime, be healthy, be well, be blessed, take care.